Welcome to Passionlist, where every story is a doorway and every lesson is a step toward the person you're meant to become. Here, you don't just learn English, you grow your mind, awaken your passion, and rise above the limits you once believed in. This is where you discover your power, the power to build wealth, to design your own future, and to shape your name into a personal brand that the world remembers. This is your time, your journey, your era to rise. Welcome to Passionlist, the place where learning transforms and transformation begins with you. 10 darkest psychological tricks your mind uses to sabotage your academic, professional, and personal future. Procrastination and avoidance of mentally demanding tasks are defense mechanisms your mind uses to shield you from uncomfortable feelings like stress, failure, and frustration. Whether in study or work, your brain avoids both exhaustion and progress simultaneously. The question is, why? Because procrastination reduces our stress levels. Sometimes the problem is not intelligence, not life circumstances, and not even willpower, but your mind itself. Yes, your brain can become a hidden enemy, crafting cunning arguments that you don't even notice, while it is the creator of them. Now, we are going to reveal how your mind manipulates you and why it makes you run from study, mental work, and achievement. You might think you are lazy, weak-willed, or lack the energy to study or work. But the terrifying truth is that your mind itself plans the escape. Yes, the mind runs away and deceives you. The problem is that this escape doesn't happen openly. It happens quietly, psychologically betraying you. Defensive mental tricks, called in psychology defense mechanisms, operate unconsciously to protect you from pressure or fear of failure. But in return, they steal your life without you knowing. Your mind doesn't hate studying. It hates the difficult emotions that come with it. Fear of failure, frustration, stress, boredom, feeling inadequate in front of others. That's why it uses what psychology calls mental traps to turn you into a master of excuses. Amazing, convincing, very logical excuses that are actually psychological traps. In this article, we will reveal the 10 most dangerous psychological tricks your mind uses to keep you away from studying, working, or self-development. You'll recognize them immediately and think, "Oh my God, this is exactly what happens to me." Read with an open mind, and you may uncover your hidden secrets for the first time. This could be the article that completely changes your path. Trick number 1, the heroic escape, doing something harder. This is a very cunning defense trick. Instead of fleeing from studying in a defeated way, you flee heroically, as if you are proving to the inner critic that you are already successful, not by illusion, but by action. You tell yourself, "I'm not procrastinating. I'm working on something more important. Instead of studying, I'll learn something bigger, something massive to prove my mental capacities." You engage in intense mental training, reading philosophy, programming or AI, writing a major project plan, developing a complex skill. You feel productive and great. But in reality, you are escaping your main duty. Psychological explanation: the mind considers studying a compulsory obligation. It escapes the obligation by doing something even harder to deny itself failure. The difficulty doesn't matter. What matters is that the chosen activity comes from a sense of full freedom. Trick number 2. Displacement. Choosing the wrong starting point. Displacement is the shortest distance between where you are and where you want to be. Before wasting your life covering a long road, you must stop your current work to determine the correct direction. The mind convinces you. Stop studying for now. First, I need to find my purpose, like great figures did. Great people didn't waste time on mere studying. They executed world-changing ideas. This is a strong trap that makes you procrastinate, justifying it as a rational search for a bigger goal. Like Bill Gates finding his mission to generate billions. Trick number 3. Mental self-explanation or the illusion of intellectual productivity. One of the smartest and most dangerous tricks. You don't flee directly. You trick yourself into thinking you are doing work. You sit, appear thoughtful, as if you are revising or summarizing. But in reality, you replace action with thought. I understand instead of I act. You live in the illusion of achievement without actual progress. Examples: I got it. I don't need to write now. Let me think it through carefully before starting. This produces a small dopamine hit, tricking you into believing you have done something important, making you even lazier. Trick number 4. Morning energy burn. The brain knows the morning is the best time to focus, but when avoiding responsibility, it crafts a deadly plan. Waste your prime hours until your body can only manage the rest of the day. You start your day on your phone, chatting, watching meaningless videos, replying to trivial messages, and by the afternoon, the day is lost. I'll start properly tomorrow. And so you live in a perpetual tomorrow cycle. Trick number 5. The virtue cloak. Moral justification. One of the dirtiest mind tricks. The moment you prepare to study, suddenly all the forgotten responsibilities appear. Clothes must be washed. Phone must be cleaned. Friends must be contacted. Desk must be organized. Family chores must be done. Everything seems like a moral obligation, noble and urgent. This is called moral rationalization of procrastination. The mind attacks from the angle of virtue, creating fake ethical responsibilities to justify avoidance. The human brain hates guilt, so it invents apparent value for delaying tasks. Trick number 6. Hunger hormones. When the body conspires with the mind. When all other tricks fail, the mind resorts to biological excuses. You feel, I'm hungry. I need energy. I can't focus now. You open the fridge, grab a snack, a full meal, tea, coffee, sweets, and tell yourself, I'll start after I eat. The trap? Eating fills the stomach, compresses the lungs, reduces oxygen to the brain, the largest energy consumer in the body, using approximately 20% of total oxygen. Less oxygen equals slower thinking, poor focus, drowsiness. The brain exploits this perfectly. Hunger becomes the excuse for mental escape. Hormones involved. Ghrelin signals hunger. Leptin signals fullness. Insulin affects energy and satiety. Even when you are not truly hungry, Your brain manipulates these signals to prolong procrastination. Sugar and fat-rich foods give quick dopamine hits, short-lived, leading back to lethargy and more excuses. The mind doesn't hate studying, it hates delayed rewards. It searches for instant gratification, and food is the easiest, fastest reward. Solution: connect study with proper biological support. Small snacks timed to enhance focus, so that the mind's trick becomes a tool rather than a trap. Conclusion: your mind is not always your ally. It has a repertoire of subtle, almost invisible strategies designed to protect you from stress, fear, and discomfort. But in doing so, it can quietly sabotage your progress, your studies, your work, and even your personal growth. These psychological tricks are not signs of weakness or laziness. They are hardwired defense mechanisms that operate without your conscious awareness. The more you understand them, the less control they hold over your life. Recognizing how your brain manipulates your attention, motivation, and energy is the first step toward reclaiming your focus and taking back ownership of your actions. The mind's deceptions are persistent and creative, but once exposed, they lose much of their power. Awareness is your strongest weapon. Lessons learned: procrastination is often a defensive strategy, not laziness. Understanding why your mind delays work helps you separate the symptom from the cause. Not all mental distractions are conscious choices. Many are subtle tricks created by your brain to avoid discomfort or failure. The illusion of productivity can be as dangerous as real inaction. Thinking, planning, or reorganizing can feel productive, but it may hide real avoidance. Biological needs can amplify procrastination. Hunger, fatigue, and low dopamine make the mind seek quick rewards instead of focused effort. Moral justification can mask true avoidance. Seeming noble responsibilities can be hijacked by the mind to delay critical tasks. Awareness is the key to control. The moment you recognize these tricks, you take back your mental power. Strategic action beats unconscious reaction. Small, intentional steps prevent the mind from hijacking your focus and energy. The brain prioritizes short-term comfort over long-term goals. Understanding this allows you to design environments and routines that minimize avoidance. Undoing reverse behavior defense. What is it? Sometimes, rather than face a difficult task or uncomfortable feelings like fear of failure or stress, the mind unconsciously undoes these by engaging in different, safer behavior, a way of erasing the guilt or anxiety. Example: you intend to study, but suddenly you find yourself cleaning your room, rearranging papers, decluttering your workspace, organizing your phone, all under the guise of, "I just need to get organized first." In reality, it's a disguised form of avoidance. Why does the brain do it? Because starting the real task feels threatening emotionally, maybe due to fear or anxiety. Undoing acts as a self-soothing ritual, giving a sense of, "I'm doing something good," while avoiding the true challenge. Wikipedia +1 risk: you waste time and feel productive, yet accomplish nothing real. The main task keeps getting postponed. Ironic mental rebound: when thought suppression backfires. Ironic process theory. What is it? attempting to suppress or avoid certain thoughts. Example, don't think about failure, don't worry about the exam, often leads to those very thoughts returning more intensely. Example, while studying, a thought pops up. What if I fail? You try to push it away, but the more you fight it, the more it intrudes, causing anxiety, distraction, and eventually escape from the task. Why does the brain do it? The brain, under stress or pressure, tries to protect us by suppressing unpleasant thoughts. But according to ironic process theory, the suppression may trigger a rebound effect, making the thoughts more frequent and stronger. Wikipedia +1. Risk: you get stuck in anxiety loops or mental clutter that derail focus and lead to procrastination. Motivated forgetting. Repression, unconscious avoidance. What is it? The mind may block or bury unpleasant memories, responsibilities, or upcoming tasks. Not just intentionally ignoring them, but unconsciously forgetting them. Example, you forget you had a deadline for an assignment, or you simply cease to see the list of tasks you need to do, as if they never existed. Why does the brain do it? Facing these tasks or memories may trigger guilt, anxiety, or fear of failure. So the mind hides them to reduce psychological discomfort. Wikipedia risk. Important work is neglected without awareness. Opportunities are lost, and over time, this leads to a pattern of chronic avoidance. Projection. Attributing one's inner resistance to external causes. What is it? Instead of recognizing internal resistance, fear, or laziness, the mind projects them onto external circumstances, blaming others or the situation. Example, I can't study because my classmates aren't serious, or the system is unfair, so why even try? Meanwhile, the real issue is internal. Poor focus, fear, or lack of discipline. Why does the brain do it? It's easier to blame external factors than to face inner discomfort. Fear, anxiety, inadequacy. Projection helps preserve self-esteem by shifting fault outward. Risk. You avoid confronting inner obstacles. You stay stuck, believing it's them or the environment. So you never address your own behavior, thus perpetuating failure. Over-preparation, planning trap. The disguised procrastination under the banner of preparation, related to planning fallacy. What is it? Instead of doing the core task, you spend a lot of time organizing, planning, tweaking environment, gathering resources, fine-tuning details, as if true start will come after perfect preparation. Example, spending hours selecting fonts, organizing folders, customizing your study space, but never actually writing or learning. Or repeatedly postponing actual work with, I'm just preparing first. Why does the brain do it? Starting is emotionally hard. It demands commitment, triggers fear of failure. Planning gives illusion of progress without real accountability. It reduces immediate anxiety, lets you feel in control. This aligns with what researchers describe in the phenomenon of over-optimistic planning and avoidance of painful start. Risk. You get trapped in perpetual preparation. Real work never begins, and goals never materialize.